If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then why is there so much ugliness in this world? If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it changes from person to person, is the person really seeing the beauty, or are they seeing something as a result of that beauty? You hear people talk, they say, beautiful music, beautiful song, beautiful feeling, beautiful person, beautiful place. You don't hear them say pretty music. You do hear them say pretty people. So I would be inclined to think that beauty comes from the feeling that one gets when interacting with or hearing or tasting or feeling something. Feeling someone on an intellectual level, feeling the rhythm in a song, feeling the message. We say there's beauty in this world, there's beauty in the message. We don't say there's pretty in this world. Pretty so superficial, yet people strive to be pretty. I don't know the name of the song. It's in the movie Anger Management with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. And the part of the therapy is he has him to sing the song, I Feel Pretty. When I think of great people, my sentiment is that's a beautiful person, man or woman, not that's a pretty person. Guys, we look at females and we say she's pretty. Females look at men and they say that's a pretty man. Why? Because they don't have anything other than the superficial to go on at that moment. Or maybe that's all there is the superficial. And so their eyes are the label. And the label is pretty because there's no depth, no feel to it, no substance, if you will. But when we get to know people and we have a good feel for them, and we think these people are good, we think they are positive, the feeling that is derived when we are around these people or think about these people, we say they're beautiful. So if I think about you and it makes me feel good, then I think you are a beautiful person. Because if I think about you and you make me feel a certain way, I don't say you're a pretty person. And you generally don't say you're a pretty person. You generally will say you are pretty. You are pretty. But then when we talk about pretty people can be ugly. I think at one point, the whole world, or at least the whole black world, felt that a certain celebrity that was married to a very notable hardcore boxer, although she was a pretty lady, was ugly. Based upon what we knew. Because I'm going to gather to say that very few of us actually knew her, only knew of her. And most of that was from the visual of what we saw of her in the movies. So we judged her as being pretty. but then she became pretty ugly. And I know and have known some pretty ugly people. So we've run all the way around that tree so that I can ask the question, which are you? Are you a pretty person? Are you a pretty ugly person? Are you a beautiful person? Because a pretty ugly person would be the exact opposite of a beautiful person. The feel that would be derived from this person would definitely be bad, negative, ugly, now. And yet we ask ourselves quite often, how do these people not just survive, but thrive? Because we get away with being pretty. And beauty, although it's valued, is usually not as high on the scale in the initial phases of knowing someone. And my goal is I want to be beautiful. Not just for my sake, for my daughter's sake. I'd rather somebody say to them, your father was a beautiful man, than to say, you know, your dad was kind of handsome. I'd rather the feel or the pride that they may have be that of, my dad was a great person, a good person. He gave people the feeling of this. He made people feel like this. And because of that, he was beautiful. So as you go about your day, and I'm quick to say that we have to develop our self, work on our id, because your id, your true self, is with you all the time, and you can cover it up as much as you want. Eventually, that facade is going to crack, melt, break. You're going to find yourself out from behind it unexpectedly, because a facade is just that. And so you're going to be caught off guard. And here's the thing. Again, think of yourself and your you as the house in the interior. The exterior of that house, however pretty it may be, is not necessarily in line with what's inside, is not constructed as it should be. There'll be cracks. Doors won't close correctly. Windows won't line up. And the closer you get, the more flaws and defects you will see. And as you get closer to these flaws and these defects, and the cracks, there's this aroma or odor that you'll get. Because again, a house, a wall, a door with cracks in it will work both ways. But if something's being held in or out, that will seep in. So if there are cracks, foundation gaps, misaligned spaces, the sun, the light will seep in and shine on what's inside. And vice versa, the aroma or the stench, the smell. Notice I went from aroma to stench, smell, odor. Either the aroma or the odor is going to seep out. And those close enough that are paying attention will smell it. Good, bad, or indifferent. You can paint dog shit green and it'll blend into the grass, but it'll still smell. So again, are you pretty? Are you pretty ugly? Or are you beautiful? Choice is really up to you. Thoughts from the basement.